Welcome to the 8th grade Math Homework Helper Series. Tonight's homework is T4, Finding Slopes of Sides of Plotted Shapes. We'll start with question number 2. A quadrilateral has vertices at A, 5, 0, B, -1, -2, C, -3, 4, and D, 3, 6. We need to determine the type of quadrilateral. So we're going to plot these points, and we can start with A, 5, 1. Starting at the origin, I move 5 spaces to the right and 0 up or down on the y-axis. And that is going to be point A. For B, it's -1, -2, so again, starting at the origin, I move to the left 1 because it's negative, and down 2 because it's negative. And that is point B. For C, it is -3, 4. Starting at the origin, I move to the left 3 and up 4. And that is point C. And for D, it's 3, 6. Starting at the origin, I move to the right 3 and up 6. And I'll label that point D. Now I need to connect them. So first we're going to connect A and B. Then I'm going to connect B and C. To C. Then I'm going to connect C to D. And lastly, I'm going to connect D to A. And we can jump right down to naming the figure. It's pretty obvious at this point that we're looking at a square. And now we need to do the slope. So remember, slope is rise over run. If it's up, it is positive. If it's down, it's negative. If it's right, it's positive. If it's left, it's negative. So for AB, we have a slope of 1 over 3. Well, how do we get that? If we start at B, we would go up 2, and then to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 over 6 would reduce to 1 over 3. That's how we get 1/3 for the slope. Now we need to do BC. Well, BC is a slope of -3, 1. How did they get that? Starting here, we're going to be going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then to the left 1, 2. So 2 over 6 would be 3 over 1. 6 over 2 would be 3 over 1, and the 6 was negative. For CD, notice CD is the same as AB. Why is that? Well, if we look back at the shape, CD and AB are parallel lines. And when you have parallel lines, the slopes are going to be equal. And so DA and CB are also parallel lines, and so we can state that -3 over 1 is going to be the slope for DA as well. Moving on to number 3, it says a triangle has vertices at J, -3, 1, K, 3, 5, and L, 1, -5. Determine the type of triangle based on its sides and angles. So let's plot these points. We have J, starting at the origin, -3, and a +1. So that goes right there. And we'll label that as J. Then we have K, starting at the origin. It is +3, +5, so I move 3 to the right and 5 up. And I label that K. then J, or L, is 1, -5. So we're at 1, and then -5 means we come down here, and I label that as L. Now we want to connect side JK. Connect that like that. Then we want to connect side KL. Like that. And then we want to connect side LJ. And now we need to think about what kind of triangle this forms. If you take a look at triangle JKL, you can see that these two sides are equal, and we have a right angle right here. So that means we have an isosceles triangle and a right triangle. And it's an isosceles and right triangle because sides JK and LJ are perpendicular. That makes the right angle. And they are congruent, which makes it isosceles. Okay, last thing we need to do is get the slopes. So we have JK. So to move from point J to point K, I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which reduces down to 2 over 3. For KL, we have 5 over 1. Let's see how that works. So we move to the right 1 and move up 1, well, let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up, and 2 over. And 10 over 2 would be 5 over 1. And then for LJ, I move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and over 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's going to give me -3 over 2. Please use the work that was done for you tonight to help you to solve additional problems that are on your homework. And remember, the key to success in math is not only working hard, but working smart.